Morning, students. So far, only 48 participants are added. Okay, I'll start the class. In yesterday's class, uh, only Unit 3 introduction. I told you. In that first topic is embedded firmware design approaches. Embedded firmware design approaches. In that, what are the different possible firmware design approaches are there? There are basically two types of firmware design approaches available. In that, first one is the super loop based approach, and another one is embedded operating system based approach. Two types. Okay. So first one, super loop based approach. Okay. Super loop based approach. What is the super loop based approach? Why it is called loop based approach? Loop based approach. Okay. And whatever we want to perform the functions with the embedded system. Okay. Whatever we want to perform what are different functions we want to perform with the embedded system. Okay. All those functions are available within the loop. Okay. Then it consistently performs all those operations. Okay. Again, already we know uh, real-time systems are classified into two types as soft real-time system and hard real-time systems. Soft real-time system and hard real-time system. What is the soft real-time system and what is the real hard-time systems? Already I explained with an example of hard real-time systems. Okay, and if the embedded system employed in our steel plant while monitoring temperature, okay, and where that is a crucial function there. Okay, okay, especially in that area. Okay, okay, are we able to compromise with more or less deviations in temperature monitoring, or what are the actions uh, performed in accordance with the temperature monitoring? No. Okay, otherwise it leads to a major damage or a major accident. Okay, that's why we strictly monitoring a very real-time temperature and the necessary actions in response to that monitoring the temperatures. That is called hard real-time system. Okay, soft real-time system. Okay, when you consider the soft real-time system, we consider the example of automatic door control. Okay, when we enter to the door, okay, when we enter into the door, okay, if it takes 1 second's delay, okay, to sense and open the door, okay, is it main constraint? And at this type of situation, okay, one situation is it steel plant and another situation at home. Okay, that 1 second lapse leads to any major damages at home? No. Okay, that is the soft real-time system example. Okay, but here soft real-time system or a hard real-time system. Okay, and what are the actions performed continuously? Why? Because the embedded system is especially developed to perform a specific task. Okay, that that embedded system repeatedly perform that task. Okay, so what are the actions we want to perform repeatedly? That is put it in a one loop. Okay, those major functions are repeatedly performing by that embedded system. That is called a super loop. Okay, understand? Is that a super loop is software or hardware? Okay, That super loop technique is purely software. When programming an embedded system, it is very important to meet the time deadlines of system. Okay, that's why I told you hard real-time system and soft real-time systems. Okay, and it is able to perform all the tasks of the system in a given amount of time. Why? Because it is always a time constraint. Okay. In general, the super loop architecture having the super loop concept having one specific architecture, okay, to meet our requirements. Okay, that super loop having a one architecture. Okay, but how do you define this super loop architecture? Okay, and a super loop architecture is a software program. Okay, remember, super loop architecture is a software program. Okay, consists of an infinite loop. Understand what is super loop architecture? Super loop architecture is a type of program contains infinite loop. Infinite loop. Okay. Then what that infinite loop contains again? Okay, that infinite loop contains all the tasks of the system. Okay, it have to be performed. Okay, why? Because any embedded system is developed to meet an specific task. Already you know. Okay, okay. And what are the actions performed? Okay, what are the actions it has to be performed? All those actions are inserted in that infinite loop. Okay, and that infinite loop is existed in a program. Okay, and that entire architecture is called super loop architecture. Okay. Understand? Okay, and actually ఇక్కడ నుంచి చెప్పట్లేదు నేను ఎంబెడెడ్ ఫిర్మ్వేర్ డిజైన్ లో జనరల్ గా అసలు ఫస్ట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు నో వాట్ ఈస్ మెన్ బై సూపర్ లూప్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్. Okay, how do we define that super loop architecture? Okay, what is the purpose of that super loop architecture? Okay, ఏం చెప్పాను మీకు, when programming an embedded system, it is very important to meet the deadlines of system to perform the given tasks. Okay, so the common architecture which is used to meet this type of requirement is called a super loop architecture. Okay, so especially the super loop architecture is a type of program which contains an infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop. That infinite loop contains the tasks it has to be performed. Okay, that infinite loop contains the task it has to be performed. Okay, that is the architecture of the super loop. Okay, and for suppose when we consider an example of automatic door control. Okay, so I am told repeatedly that automatic door control, it is very easy to assume and very easy to remember. Okay, for suppose I want to design, okay, automatic door control. Okay, automatic door control, uh, actually this project contains what are the hardware components? Automatic door control. Okay, and a door must be automatically open and automatically closed. How it is possible? Okay, it is possible with, okay, when a person enters to a room, okay, we need a sensor in front of the door called IR sensor. Okay, IR sensor or PIR sensor, whatever it may be, both are infrared. Okay, one IR sensor. That IR sensor, okay, this is the door. Okay, it in front of the door it requires one IR sensor. First of all, this is one IR sensor. Okay, this IR sensor senses when the person enter the room. Okay, and intimate, and the response of that IR sensor is uh, go to the motor here. Okay, and actually in between IR sensor, this is the controller, this is the IR sensor, and this is the motor. Okay, when IR sensor senses some signal, that signal is fed to microcontroller. Here we write some program here, here we write some program here. Okay, what the program it is? Okay, రే program రాస్తాను నేను. In case when we receive an interrupt from this IR sensor, okay, then rotate this motor. Okay, here one driver is there and this is the one motor. Okay, when the driver is there, okay, when one person is there, receive response from this person, okay, as a IR signal, and IR signal, IR this converts that interruption to equivalent electrical signal. The electrical signal is taken as a interrupt from that IR, okay, and executing this program. Okay, while executing this program, it contains one program architecture. Okay, one program architecture. Okay, it executes the program what we have to do now. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఏం రాస్తాను నేను? When it receives the signal from the IR sensor, it must rotate this motor. అంటే the rotation కావాల్సిన electrical signal ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి. Okay, through driver. ఎందుకంటే ఇది మోటార్ అన్నాను కాబట్టి we must require one driver circuit. This is the driver circuit. Okay, so in response to this IR signal, this motor rotates. Okay, whenever this motor is fixed at this end, this motor is fixed at this end. Okay, and this motor rotates, but the shaft of the motor is connected to this door. That's why door is also rotated, and that is called open. Okay, automatically this door is open when the person enters into the room. Then okay, it doesn't senses any signal after few seconds. Okay, and whatever we provide the delay here, then automatically the door, and automatically, okay, and here I write that program. If it doesn't senses after 1 second, okay, just send a signal to that motor, rotate initially left, now it is rotate right. So this motor shaft rotate right, but that shaft is connected to this door. That's why door automatically closes. Okay, and actually it doesn't mean that door, but in the meaning of shaft here, what is the actual shaft of this motor is there. Okay, but that shaft is connected to the door. That's why in order to that rotation, that door is open or close. Okay, understand? And one IR sensor output with some signal conditioning goes to some microcontroller, whatever may be the microcontroller. Okay, that is a microcontroller, that's the hardware part. And these IR sensor motor drivers are this that is the hardware, and this microcontroller is also hardware. Whatever you write the code, here is the software. But what actions it has to be performed, okay, is written step by step here like a program. Okay, it do, okay, it do those actions repeatedly. Okay, and whatever I do here, okay, whatever I write here in the code, okay, what functions it has to be performed repeatedly is called infinite loop. That infinite loop contains this sensing, okay, sensing, and sensing and taking the interrupt and providing the signal to the motor. Okay, all those actions. Okay, that is called a super mesh. Understand what I told you? Okay, that is called a super mesh. Okay, and what is the basic architecture of the super mesh now? What is the architecture of the super mesh now? ఏముంటుంది? Okay, and when we assumed it as a one function, okay, okay, and actually ఇప్పుడు నేను చేసిన యాక్షన్ అంతా ఒక ఫంక్షన్ గా ట్రీట్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, ఫర్ సపోజ్. Okay, so function, okay, main function అంటే ఫంక్షన్ కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను నేను. Okay, so ordinary initialization of okay, all those sensors with its reset values. Okay, next infinite loop. ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ అంటే ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, డూ ఫర్ ఎవర్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, I do forever. First check status, some do calculations, uh, and provide some response to the output. Understand? Okay, ఏం చేస్తాను, okay, architecture of the super loop is the first function. Okay, and first this is the function. Okay, function start చేస్తున్నాను. Next, some initializations is required. Why? Because all these are the hardware components. That's why we must initialize those components. Okay, these are the initializations. Okay, next, do forever. This is the infinite loop. What? Do forever. Do forever is the infinite loop. Again, that infinite loop contains what actions we want to be performed. Okay, what actions we want to be performed here is the check status. Check status. Okay, and ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, IR సెన్సార్ని యూజ్ చేసి is it the person is appear or not. Okay, that is check status. If the person appears, okay, then do some calculations and how distance he is from the door, and he is the person want to enter into the room, or he is the uh, common person uh, on the pathway. Okay, on the path. Okay, అంటే not intention to enter the room. Okay, otherwise it leads to a malfunction. Okay, okay, understand? Okay, that open loop architecture contains function, the main function, next initialization, next infinite loop started, next in that infinite loop contains some check status, do some calculations, and provide some output response. That's all. Okay, close. Okay, this is called super loop architecture. Okay, యాక్చువల్గా ఇక్కడ మనకి నీట్గా రాయడానికి పాసిబిలిటీ లేదు, టచ్ ప్యాడ్ కావాలి. ఓకే, that is called super loop architecture. Understand? So now what actions it has to be performed in that super loop architecture. Okay, here we perform the initialization routines. Okay, here we have, this is the function call, function main underscore function. Next, initialization. Okay, what is the purpose of the initialization here? Here we have to perform the initialization routines before we enter the super loop. This is called a super loop. This is called a super loop, and this is called a super loop architecture, and this is called a super loop do forever. We started here. Okay, before we enter the super loop, because we only want to initialize the system once. Okay, అంతే కదా, యాక్చువల్గా స్టార్ట్ చేయడానికి ముందు ఖచ్చితంగా సిస్టమ్ని ఒకసారి రీసెట్ చేసుకోవాలి ఆర్ ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, once the infinite loop begins, for suppose if once the super infinite loop begins, we don't want to reset those values. అంతే కదా, అది రిసీవ్ చేసుకున్న వాల్యూస్ మనం రీసెట్ చేయలేం once the program is started. Okay, because we need to maintain the persistent state in the embedded system. Okay, అంటే అవి కొన్ని వాల్యూస్ రీడ్ చేసుకుంది, యాక్చువల్గా ఇన్ రెస్పాన్స్ టు దట్ దోస్ వాల్యూస్ those actions are dependent. Okay, in that situation we are unable to reset those values. Okay, once that program is started. Okay, there is a problem. Okay, understand? If we want to initialize the routines before we enter a super loop, okay, we have to initialize the system once. Okay, once the infinite loop begins, here do underscore forever, we don't want to reset those values because we need to maintain persistent state in embedded system. Okay, we need to maintain that persistent or consistent state in the embedded system to perform the required actions with respect to sensor values. Understand? Okay. Next, of course, when we consider this infinite loop, okay, uh, it contains various batch processing and control flow uh, operations are there. What is the batch processing and control flow? Okay, here I am explaining with an example of just automatic door control. Okay, is that embedded system is especially developed to open and close that uh, door? No. Okay, here just I am taking an example of uh, small scale, very small scale. Okay. If we consider our mobile, is it performs the operations like uh, calling, only calling and messaging? No. Okay. Okay. The mobile is able to perform multiple operations, but it is an embedded system. Okay. And whatever I told you here, okay, and this is called one super loop architecture. It contains just automatic door open and control. Okay, and that is the infinite loop. I write it here. I wrote here. Okay, when we come to the real time, okay, and instead of these single statements and single functionality, okay, when we come into the real time, instead of this single functionality, multiple functions have to be performed by this embedded system. Okay, that's why, okay, such type of and this type of operate and this the entire embedded system contains, okay, more number of this type of operations. Okay, and combination of those batches is the batch processing. What it called? Batch processing and control flow, like read input, calculate those values, okay, write those values in the output port. Okay, it has to be performed repeatedly for, okay, each operation. Okay, and whatever we perform with the medium scale or large scale embedded systems, okay, it has to be performed repeatedly with the batch processing and control flow operations like read input. Okay, so calculate those values and write those values into the output port. Okay, like that. Okay, so embedded systems software is not only the type of software which uses a kind of architecture. Okay, it must uses some kind of architecture called super loop architecture. Okay, actually consider the computer games. Okay, computer games తీసుకుంటారు కదా, computer games ఆడుతుంటారు. Okay, in the computer games also there is a need of this type of super loop architecture. Okay, game is completely dependent upon whatever the actions we have to be performed with our hands in video gaming control board. అంతే కదా. Okay, in that game development also we use a similar kind of super loop architectures. Okay, and that super loop architecture in that video gamings are also called as game loop or main loop or tight loop, ఎలాగైనా పిలవచ్చు దాన్ని. ఓకే, ఎక్కడైనా మీరు ఎలాగైనా పిలవచ్చు దాన్ని, ఇంకా డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ ది టైప్ ఆఫ్ ది అప్లికేషన్. ఓకే, అండర్స్టాండ్. అలాగే యాక్చువల్గా వీటిలోనే మనకి ఇంకొన్ని ఉన్నాయి. పవర్ సేవింగ్ సూపర్ లూప్ ఒకటి, పవర్ సేవింగ్ సూపర్ లూప్ అండ్ ఇంకా అంటే మెయిన్ పవర్ సేవింగ్ సూపర్ లూప్ కూడా ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండ్ ఫైనెస్ట్ requirement to design an embedded firmware design. Okay, to design an embedded firmware. Okay, why? Because power save super loop especially required to save the power Why? Because what are the design constraints of embedded system? Okay. Design constraints of the embedded systems are design constraints. Okay. Size, performance, power, and cost. And power is also one of the design constraint. That's why power saver super loop is also there. Okay. Power save super loop. Okay. For suppose when we consider an embedded system which has an average loop time of 1 millisecond. Understand? If we consider an embedded system, okay, which has an average loop time of 1 milliseconds, okay, and average looping time enta istunnadu 1 millisecond, and it needs only to check the certain input once per second, okay, and every second ki, okay, input వచ్చిందా రాలేదని చెక్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి, అంతే కదా. యాక్చువల్గా మీరు ఒక ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ రాస్తూ ఉంటారు జనరల్గా, వైల్ అని పెట్టి వైల్ బ్రాకెట్స్ క్లోజ్ చేశారనుకోండి. Okay, let's say while of 1, okay, it is repeatedly check and repeatedly monitoring, not check here, repeatedly monitoring is it obstacle occurs or not, is the person is appear or not, okay. Like that, okay. And if the embedded system is designed with an average loop time of 1 millisecond, and it needs to be checked a certain input once per second. Understand? Loop time 1 millisecond, but that IR sensor, okay, check the person appear or not, okay, with a delay of 1 second, and every second check చేసుకుంటుంది, not for every millisecond, okay. It seems to be a waste to continuing looping program, అంతే కదా. యాక్చువల్లీ నేను 1 millisecond ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోమని చెప్తున్నాను, యాక్చువల్లీ నాకు 1 second ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది కదా. అంటే ఎన్ని టైమ్స్ లూప్ వేస్ట్ అయిపోతుంది, యాక్చువల్లీ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకుంటే చాలు. కానీ నేను ఎలా రాసుకున్నాను, ఎవ్రీ 1 millisecond కి చెక్ చేసుకోమని రాస్తున్నాను. ఎవ్రీ 1 millisecond కి లూప్ రొటేట్ అవుతూ చెక్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటుంది. అంటే యాక్చువల్లీ 1 second కి అది ఎన్నిసార్లు చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది, 1000 టైమ్స్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది 1 second కి. యాక్చువల్గా నాకు 1 second ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకుంటే చాలు, బట్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ వన్ టైమ్ లూపింగ్, ఓకే, హియర్ ఐ రైట్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్, okay, to monitor every 1 millisecond, okay, with a delay of every 1 millisecond, okay, and actual requirement is 1 second, but here I write the program to repeat that loop as to monitor with the delay of 1 millisecond. And enti యాక్చువల్గా 1000 టైమ్స్ రిపీట్ అయితే అది 1 second అవుతుంది, ఓకే. నాకు యాక్చువల్లీ 1 second ఒకసారి సరిపోతుంది. అంటే వాట్ అబౌట్ రిమైనింగ్ 999 టైమ్స్, ఓకే, రిమైనింగ్ 999 టైమ్స్ ఆర్ వేస్టెడ్. అంటే unnecessarily that loop repeats, okay, 999 times. Understand? 999 times unnecessarily that loop is rotating, okay. That's why it seems to be a waste to continue looping program, especially we don't need to do anything most of the time, antega. At that remaining 999 times, okay, we do nothing, okay. Why? Because here the input frequency is just 1 second, and I mean, and obstacle occurs or a person appears at every one second, okay. In this situation, the program will loop 1000 times before it needs to read the input, and the other 999 times the loop of the program will just be count down to read the next instruction, okay, to read that is it the person appear or not, okay. In this case, okay, this type of system is purely inefficient to have the process chugging away from 100% capacity of all the time. Understand? Okay. So to meet such type of systems, okay, that super loop architecture, whatever I told you earlier, is slightly modified. Okay, slightly modified. Okay, what are the modifications appear to save the power here is uh, as usual. Okay, function, the main function. Next, do forever. Next, check status. Okay, main function. Initialization is common. Next, infinite loop started. That is the do forever. Next, check status of the IR. Do some calculations and how far he is from, and provide some output response to provide a signal to the motor. And next one is an additional point is delay for next loop. Okay, here I am added delay for next loop. Okay, this is called power save super loop. What it called? Power save super loop. Okay, understand okay, what I do here? Okay, here we added a delay at the end of the super loop. Understand? Here we add. Here we add. Okay, one additional. Okay, one additional program line. Okay, or one additional instruction. Okay, to provide the power saving. Okay, or to move into the next loop. Okay, and here we don't need to loop 1000 times. We can read that input, okay, on every loop. Okay, and for every second ఒకసారి read చేసుకుంటుంది అంతే. Okay, ఆ remaining 999 it is ideal. That's why it save power. Okay, it is very important that many microcontrollers have power save modes. Okay, where they will require less electrical power. Okay, which can especially good if the system is running off the battery. Almost all the embedded systems are handheld. Okay, almost all the embedded systems are called handheld devices. Okay, they are all operate with only battery. That's why that power is very constrained in embedded systems. Okay, that's why this type of super loop power saver is implemented in almost each and every microcontroller. Okay, and unnecessary looping. Okay, of course, just like our laptop also. Laptop is also our example for our embedded systems. Okay, it is also battery operated, but able to perform all the tasks just like our desktop. Okay, uh, and when we observe this laptop, when this laptop is ideal for a 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and depending upon the what settings, okay, whatever we set it in background. Okay, it is going to the sleep mode. What is the sleep mode? What is the purpose of the sleep mode? Okay, the purpose of the sleep mode is to save power. Actually, the screen requires a huge power to display. Okay, that it consumes a very high power among the different parts of that entire laptop. Okay, that's why to save the power in the view of screen. Okay, it going to the sleep mode. Of course, processor is also going to the sleep mode. Okay, sleep and wake. Okay, that is the purpose of okay, super loop of a power save. Very notcast. Sorry. You understand? Okay, that's all about super loop based approach. Okay, so see here. Okay. And what textbook లో ఇచ్చాడో ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. The firmware design approaches for embedded product is purely dependent on complexity of the functions to be performed. Okay, and that is the type of embedded system. and is it medium scale or large scale or small scale, or okay, based on that, and speed of the operation is required, etc. Okay, two basic approaches used for embedded firmware design is the conventional procedural based firmware design and conventional procedural based firmware design and embedded operating system based design. Okay, and a conventional procedural based firmware design is nothing but a super loop model. Okay, already you know. Okay, and what we learned from this line. Okay, embedded firmware design approaches are classified into two types based on the complexity and speed of operation, or depending upon the type of embedded system, and is it small scale or medium scale or large scale. Okay, and based on this, there's firmware design approaches are, okay, super loop based approach is the first one, and embedded operating system based design or embedded real time operating system based design. Okay, only 2 points here, we learn the 2 points. Next, already you know. Okay, super loop based design approach. Okay, first you have to see here super loop based design approach. Okay, see here super loop based approach. Okay, ప్రాక్టీస్ మనం చెప్పుకున్నవే ఉంటాయి దీంట్లో. సో చూడండి, సూపర్ లూప్ బేస్డ్ ఫిర్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ అప్రోచ్ ఈస్ అడాప్టెడ్ ఫర్ ది అప్లికేషన్స్ దట్ ఆర్ నాట్ టైమ్ క్రిటికల్ అండ్ వేర్ ద రెస్పాన్స్ టైమ్ ఈస్ నాట్ సో ఇంపార్టెంట్. Okay, and already I told you soft real time system and hard real time system applications are there, two types. Okay, with example of automatic door control is the soft real time system, and temperature monitoring at the steel plant is the hard real time system. Okay, just like that. Okay, the super loop based firmware development approach is adapted for, and especially the super loop technique is used for soft real time systems. Okay, the super loop, okay, and మనకు ఒక పాయింట్ తెలుస్తుంది. The super loop based firmware development approach is adapted for the applications are not time critical. Whereas time critical in the sense hard real time system, not time critical in the sense soft real time system, and where the time response is not so important. See here, embedded systems are missing deadlines or acceptable అని. Okay, అంటే యాక్చువల్గా డోర్ ఓపెన్ అవడం ఒక 1 సెకండ్ లేట్ అయినా ఇక్కడ మనకు వచ్చిన నష్టమేం లేదు. ఓకే, దానివల్ల ఇట్ డజంట్ లీడ్స్ టు ఎనీ మాసివ్ డ్యామేజ్. Okay, that is called a soft real time system. Okay, it is very similar to conventional procedural programming where the code is executed task by task. Okay, already you know that. Okay, the task listed at the top of the program code is executed first, and then tasks just below the top are executed after completing the first task. Okay, already చెప్పా కదా. ఓకే, అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇనిషియలైజేషన్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇనిషియలైజేషన్ అయిన తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తాం, ఫస్ట్ ఐఆర్ సెన్సార్ నుంచి ఫస్ట్ సెన్సర్ సిగ్నల్ని రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటాను. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ అది కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ డూ సమ్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్, అంటే ఇట్ పెర్ఫార్మ్ సంథింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఆఫ్టర్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ ద రెస్పాన్స్ ఇస్ సెంట్ టు మోటార్. ఓకే, హియర్ దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో కన్వెన్షనల్. ఓకే, the task listed at the top of the program, okay, whatever the actions they have to be performed, okay, or mentioned in the program, those tasks are executed line by line. Okay, this is the common procedure. Okay, in multiple task based system, actually single task అయితే one by one చేసుకుంటూ వస్తుంది. For suppose it is a multiple task based system, each task is executed in a serial approach. అంతే కదా. Okay, one by one it is executed. Okay, the firmware execution flow for this okay, ఎలా ఉంటుంది firmware execution. యాక్చువల్లీ మీకు ప్రోగ్రామ్ చెప్పారు కదా ఇప్పుడు, అంటే నేను ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది అనేది అది ఇక్కడ కూడా ఉంటుంది. కాన్ఫిగర్ ఆల్ ది పారామీటర్స్ కాన్ఫిగర్ ఆల్ ది కామన్ పారామీటర్స్ అండ్ పెర్ఫార్మ్ ఇనిషియలైజేషన్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ చెప్పారు కదా మీకు, ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ ద ఇనిషియలైజేషన్. ఫస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్ కాల్ ఇన్ దట్ ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ద ఇనిషియలైజేషన్. and initialize all the hardware and software array, what are registers it contains, or nullified with nullified if it contains any garbage values. Okay, that is the first point. Okay, so here configure all the common parameters and perform initialization of various hardware components, memory and registers etc. Okay, next start the first task and execute it. అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తాను నేను, ఐఆర్ సెన్సార్, ఓకే ఫస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏంటన్నాను, ఐఆర్ సెన్సార్ నుంచి అంటే స్టాటస్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. ఓకే, సో స్టార్ట్ ద ఫస్ట్ టాస్క్ అంటే చెక్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. ఏం చెక్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను, ఈజ్ ద పర్సన్ ఈజ్ అపియర్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ద సెకండ్ టాస్క్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ టాస్క్ అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ టాస్క్ ఏంటి, ఇన్ కేస్ ద పర్సన్ అపియర్ how far he is from the door and do some calculations. Okay, I guess execute the third task. Third task enti, if all the calculations are performed, that response is fed to, okay, motor. Okay, and if the person very near, then it will be open. Okay, rotate right, if he is far away, then that is fixed in left position. Okay, similarly execute the last task. Then execute the last task. అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, అంటే పర్సన్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసిన పర్సన్ యాక్చువల్గా రూమ్లోకి ఎంటర్ అయ్యాడు. ఎంటర్ అయిన తర్వాత డోర్ ఆటోమేటిక్గా క్లోజ్ అయిపోయింది, అంతే. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి, వేరే పర్సన్ వస్తున్నాడు అనేది చెక్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. ఓకే, అంటే దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈస్ కంటిన్యూస్లీ రిపీటెడ్. దట్స్ వై అగైన్ జంప్ బ్యాక్ టు ది ఫస్ట్ టాస్క్ అండ్ ఫాలో ది సేమ్. అండర్స్టాండ్? I hope you understand. Okay, for the firmware execution sequence, it is obvious that the order in which the task to be executed are fixed and they are hard coded in the code itself. Okay, అంతే కదా, ఏ టాస్క్ వస్తే ఏ టాస్క్ చేయాలి అంటే ప్యారల్గా అన్ని టాస్క్లు చేస్తారంటే అవ్వదు కదా. ఓకే, ఎందుకంటే why, because okay, whatever you write the code in a proper sequence, if we miss that sequence, okay, it leads to malfunction. Okay, that's why from the firmware execution sequence, it is obvious that in order with the tasks to be executed or fixed, and they are hard coded in the code itself. Okay. Also, the operation is an infinite loop based approach. Also, the operation is an infinite loop based approach. Actually, okay, we can visualize the operational sequence listed above in terms of C program code as, ఇక్కడ చూడండి మోడల్ ఎలా ఇచ్చాడు. యాక్చువల్గా నేను లేట్గా మీకు చెప్పింది ఇదే. యాక్చువల్గా ఇడు మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వైడ్ మెయిన్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్స్ అంటే ఏమన్నా మనం కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకుంటాం. నెక్స్ట్ ఇనిషియలైజేషన్స్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ స్టార్ట్స్ హియర్, వైల్ ఆఫ్ 1. ఇక్కడ మనం ఎంబెడెడ్ సి కదా ఒకటి మాట్లాడుకునేది. సో వైల్ ఆఫ్ 1, మరి రిమెంబర్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ది సూపర్ లూప్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ది సూపర్ లూప్. ఓకే, the architecture of the entire super loop. Wide main configurations, initializations, infinite loop started here. It executes the task by task, task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4 until task n. That's all. Okay, and this is super loop based approach is strictly used for only soft real time systems. Okay, not hard real time systems. See here, almost all the tasks in embedded applications are non-ending. అంతే కదా, ఏదైనా రిపీటెడ్ గానే ఇచ్చారు కదా ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్స్ లో. ఓకే, అండ్ రిపీటెడ్ infinitely throughout the operation. From the above C code, you can see that task 1 to task can perform one after one. Okay, the firmware execution is again redirected to task 1. Okay, and it is repeated forever in the loop. అందుకే యాక్చువల్గా మీకు చెప్పా కదా డూ ఫర్ ఎవర్ అని చెప్పి. ఓకే, loop title. This repetition is achieved by using an infinite loop. And ఇక్కడ while of one అని యూజ్ చేసుకున్నాడు, or you simply we use do forever. Okay. Here the while of one is the loop. This approach is referred as super loop based approach. Okay, while of one in the sense infinite loop. Okay, that infinite loop is treated as a super loop. Super loop in the sense infinite loop. Okay, since the tasks are running inside an infinite loop, the only way to come out that loop is either hardware reset or interrupt assertion. నేను బయటికి ఎలా వస్తాను మరి ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ నుంచి? ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ నుంచి బయటకు రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఐ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రెస్ ద మాస్టర్ రీసెట్. Okay, or simply we send an interrupt. Okay, simply we send an interrupt, and in response to that interrupt, it is exited from that infinite loop. Okay, here the hardware reset brings the program execution back to the main loop. Okay, whereas an interrupt request suspends task of, okay, that is the difference here. Hard reset or master reset here. Okay, the hard reset or master reset here is, okay, the hard reset brings the program execution back to the main loop. Okay, whereas interrupt request suspends the task execution temporarily and performed corresponding interrupt routine. అదే చెప్పా కదా, అంటే in the form of, when we give in the form of interrupt, in response to that interrupt, what actions it have to be performed from the interrupt table. Okay, and in that way it is exited from the infinite loop. Okay, and actually ఒక interrupt n అని ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, what are the actions it have to be performed for that interrupt n. Okay, it stops the currently executed program. Okay, and actually the infinite loop లో ఉంది, infinite loop లో ఉన్నది. అంటే ఒక్కసారి ఆగిపోతుంది. ఓకే, ఆగిపోయి ఏం జరగాలి అంటే ఇంటరప్ట్ వెక్టర్ టేబుల్లో ఏమని చెప్పాను, ఈవెన్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్స్ ఏమైనా రన్ అయితే ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అక్కడితో సస్పెండ్ అయ్యి అది ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ నుంచి బయటకు మెయిన్ లూప్ లోకి రావాలి అని చెప్తున్నాను. అంటే దట్ ఈస్ ద రొటీన్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. ఓకే, అంటే అకార్డింగ్ టు దట్ రొటీన్, okay, it is exited from the super loop. Okay, when the interrupt request suspends the task execution temporarily and perform the corresponding interrupt routine, that is the routine. And on completion of an interrupt routine, it starts the tasking execution from the point where it is got interrupted. అంటే ఏ పాయింట్ నుంచి అయితే మనం బయట తీసుకొచ్చామో అదే పాయింట్ దగ్గర మళ్ళీ ఎంటర్ అయ్యి రిమైనింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, అదే కదా ఐఎస్ఆర్ పర్పస్. See here, the super loop based design doesn't require any operating system, since there is no need of scheduling, tasking, okay, assigning, okay, such type of operations. Okay, the super loop based design, the priorities are fixed and the order in which tasks to be executed are also fixed. Okay, that sequence is always fixed. Okay, if the sequence changes, it leads to a malfunction. Okay, hence the code for the performing these tasks will be residing in the code memory without the operating system image. Okay, this type of design is employed in only small scale embedded systems, that is the low cost embedded systems and products where the response time is not critical. Okay, some embedded system products demand this type of approach in some tasks, okay, where the sequential operations are required. So here, see here one example. For example, reading or writing data and to from a card using a card reader requires a sequence of operations like checking the presence of card, authentication. Actually, మన పెన్ డ్రైవ్ ఉంది కదా, ఓకే, లేకపోతే మన మెమరీ కార్డ్, ఆపరేషన్స్ అన్నీ అండి ఇవే కదా. ఓకే, ఏం చేస్తాం, చెకింగ్ ది ప్రజెన్స్ ఆఫ్ కార్డ్ అంటే యాక్చువల్ కార్డ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసాలో చెక్ చేసుకుంటాం, ఆథెంటికేటింగ్ ది ఆపరేషన్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ reading the data from that card or writing the data into the card. Okay, such type of operations. Okay, it strictly follow the specified sequence, and the combination of these series of tasks constitutes a single task, namely data read and write. Read and write operations ante ade kada, there is no use of inputting the subtasks into the independent tasks. అంటే ఆ మధ్యలో మనం చేయడానికి ఏం లేదు కదా. అంటే యాక్చువల్గా నేను మల్టిపుల్ ఫైల్స్ కాపీ చేస్తాను అనుకోండి, సో కాపీ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి అంతే. ఓకే, that is a only soft real time system. Okay, so idantha remaining examples. Okay, please go through it, it is very easy to understand. Okay, that's all about super loop based approach. ఒకసారి చూడండి, లేకపోతే ఒకసారి నేను రేపు మెయిన్ సెకండ్ టాపిక్ స్టార్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు చెప్తాను. ఓకే, దట్స్ ఆల్ ఫర్ టుడే. We'll continue in the next class. Okay, thank you everybody.